I never thought a glass of water at 2 a.m. would shatter everything I believed about my marriage, my home, and myself. It was supposed to be an ordinary night, the kind of night where silence blankets everything, where the world feels still and innocent. My husband was fast asleep down the hall, breathing steadily, the kind of sleep only the blissfully unaware are gifted. I had just wanted water, just water. But fate has a cruel sense of timing. As I padded quietly through the house, something made me pause outside Jake's room. My stepson, 25, living with us temporarily while getting back on his feet. A decent kid, or so I thought. A soft clicking sound was coming from behind his half-closed door. I told myself he might be watching something innocent, maybe a late-night movie. But curiosity got the better of me. Through the narrow slit in the doorway, I saw the blue light of his laptop reflecting on his face. His eyes were locked on the screen, intense and unblinking. Then I noticed it wasn't a movie, it was a video, a private one, a video of me and Richard, my husband, our most intimate moments, recorded without my knowledge, playing on loop, in the hands of someone I had once helped raise. My body went cold. The glass nearly slipped from my grip. I wanted to scream, to burst in, to wake my husband. But I didn't. I just stood there, frozen, paralyzed by shock, and something else I wasn't ready to admit. The look in Jake's eyes, it wasn't just curiosity. It was hunger. For me. That night became the first thread in a web of secrecy and shame that would eventually strangle the life I once knew. I'm Ela Mitchell. Well, Ela Carter before I married Richard 7 years ago. I was 38 then, newly divorced, cautious, guarded. Richard made me feel safe. He was solid, reliable. A financial advisor with a gentle manner and a deep laugh that made you trust him. He had one son, Jake, who was 21 at the time. We weren't close, and that was fine. He had a mom already, and I never wanted to replace her. For years, things were normal, calm, predictable, until Jake moved back in. He'd lost his job and needed a place to stay. Richard welcomed him with open arms, and I tried. But something about Jake had changed. He wasn't the quiet teenager I remembered. He had grown into a man, taller, broader, confident in a way that made the air around him feel charged. He worked out in the basement gym. Sometimes I'd catch glimpses of him, shirtless, muscles slick with sweat. I'd look away immediately, hating myself for noticing. And then came the subtle changes, lingering glances, smirks that lasted too long. The time I walked in on him coming out of the shower, his towel too low, his apology too slow. I brushed it all off, until the video. After that, I avoided him, couldn't look him in the eye, could barely look at Richard without guilt clawing at my throat. But the worst part wasn't what I saw that night. It was how it made me feel, exposed, violated, yes, but also something else, something darker. A part of me, buried under years of routine and marriage and restraint, felt alive, and I hated myself for it. Then came the night Richard left on a business trip. He kissed my cheek at the door and joked, "You two behave." If only he knew. That evening I stayed in the kitchen, trying to scrub my shame into the countertops. The house was quiet, too quiet. Then Jake appeared behind me, his voice low, deliberate. "You saw it, didn't you?" I turned slowly, every muscle tight. "Jake, that was private. That was beautiful," he said, stepping closer. "You were beautiful." I should have slapped him, walked out, called Richard, but I didn't, because my body betrayed me with a silence that felt too much like surrender. Over the next few days, everything changed. He'd brush past me in the hallway, his touch lingering just a moment too long. His laptop left open, glances across the dinner table, smiles that said more than they should. And me? I began to play along, subtle at first, lingering near him, wearing looser robes, catching myself staring back. It was a game, a dangerous one, and I was losing. Then came the storm. A blackout swept through the house. Thunder cracked like a warning shot. I was in the kitchen again when I heard his footsteps, felt his breath on my neck. "You scared?" he whispered. I lied. Of course not. But I was, scared of what was happening, of how close he was, of how much I wanted him to touch me. Then his hands were on my waist, slow, deliberate, testing. "Tell me to stop," he murmured. But I couldn't. Lightning flashed, revealing the hunger in his eyes. And mine. We crashed into each other like a dam breaking. Every breath, every kiss, every touch was fueled by years of repression, by forbidden longing that should have never existed. When it was over, we didn't speak. He left me standing in the kitchen, shaking, and all I could think was, what have I done? Richard came, back the next day, unaware. Jake played the dutiful son, the same smirk on his face, but now loaded with meaning, a cruel, knowing tease. I avoided him, told myself it was a one-time mistake. But then, 3 nights later, I heard the knock. Software measured, familiar. Richard was asleep beside me. I tiptoed out and found Jake at the door, shirtless, eyes dark with desire. "We need to talk," he said. I followed him to the basement, robe clutched like armor. "This can't happen again," I whispered. "But it will," he said, "because you haven't stopped thinking about it. Neither have I." And he was right. It did happen again. And again. Quick, dangerous moments. In the laundry room, in the garage. A touch here, a kiss there. My guilt grew as fast as my addiction. I was spiraling, caught between loyalty and lust. Then came the morning that changed everything. I was late, 2 weeks late. The test sat on the bathroom counter, staring back at me like a curse. I wasn't ready to look. I wasn't ready to know, because I already did.